So I've been reading all different kind of things this week. Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about what I've been reading, and I have all sorts of things to talk to you about. It has been very busy, and this past weekend I thought, okay, I'm falling behind on my reading. I don't know about you, but when I get busy and I can't read, I get a little antsy. I mean, I know just being busy kind of gets you a little antsy and anxious, but for me, I need to read. For me, when I go to bed, right before I go to sleep, I want to have a little time to just relax and read before I go to sleep. And it's like if I don't have time to do that, I don't know. I don't feel like myself, and I feel like I'm not in my routine. I think that's what it is. I think that reading for me gives me a routine. It's like it's a process. I start my day with reading, I end my day with reading. And if I don't do that, y'all, I get just antsy. So anyway, I say all that to say last weekend was really busy. It was exciting because my son, well, first I went to a library sale, so that was fun. And, it was fun because my husband and I decided to have a little date to go. It was an hour and a half or almost 2 hours away. And we went to this little library sale and had lunch, and that was fun. But the next day and that whole weekend, my son was working on a live recording of their first album. And it is just so exciting. But it was a lot to deal with because he had pictures and they interviewed them. And then they had a concert. It was like a concert Sunday night, a live concert of them recording it. And then all day Saturday, they worked on recording it too to kind of make sure they had everything and rehearsed over and over. So it was just a lot this weekend, and it was really busy. So because of that, I was really busy both Saturday and Sunday, and Friday too, because Friday I went to the library sale. So I just didn't get as much reading in. But when I look back, I actually got more reading in than I thought I had. So the rest of the week, I guess, went a little smoother, and I was able to catch up on a little reading then. So I say all that to say there's several things I'm still working on, and I want to talk a little bit about those. But I did finish a couple of things that I want to talk to you about now. So the first book I read this week was The Cider Shop Rules. This is the last book in the Cider Shop Mystery Series. This is a trilogy. There are only 3 in the series, unfortunately, because if you follow my channel, you know that I've fallen in love with this little series. It's the cutest cozy mystery, and it's perfect for me. It's set on an apple orchard. There's an apple cider shop, and there's mysteries. There's murder mysteries throughout. And I just love everything about this series. So, of course, I just had to pick up the next one. The last one I mentioned was set in June. It was a summer wedding. This one is a fall festival. So, if you want to read this one now, it's the perfect time. I think you could read these out of order, but I would recommend reading all 3 back to back because that's what I did, and it was a lot of fun that way. In this one, one of the neighbors who is liked by most people in the town is found murdered in the back of the main character's truck. So that's how the story begins, and of course there's all kinds of clues along the way. This one was just as great as the rest of them, and it did leave for more to happen at the end. So I hope that some kind of way this Julianne Lindsay will start writing some more of these and getting them published because I love this series, and I want more of this little apple cider shop. I just loved it. So I highly recommend the Cider Shop Mystery Series. This is my favorite cozy mystery series I've ever read. Now, I haven't read a lot of cozy mysteries, but from what I have read, this is just perfect if you like cozy, fun, lighthearted mysteries. This is perfect. And this is perfect right now because it does take place at a fall festival. And then I also participated in Shap Timber. I'm trying to make it a goal to read at least something by Shakespeare every year. I am not that familiar with Shakespeare. Of course, we had to read a couple of plays in high school, and I've read a few things since, and I'm really enjoying going through reading the Shakespeare plays. And I'm using these No Fear Shakespeare because it makes it so much easier for me. So what I plan on doing is use these No Fear Shakespeare, read through them, watch the play itself, and then go back and study them more as I understand them. But I need just a basic idea of these before I continue, and I'm really enjoying that. So for this one, I decided to read Macbeth. I didn't know anything about Macbeth, and wow, it is powerful. I will say that. It was a lot more tragic and violent than I imagined it to be. Reading it was okay, but then I watched a dramatization, and it was a newer dramatization, and as I was watching it, it was really past my threshold of what I could take. I mean, it was super violent. There's a murder scene that was like, please stop already. I mean, just over the top with graphic scenes that's just, I'm very sensitive to those things. So I was trying not to watch, I was covering, and I was telling my husband, tell me when this part's over. Well, I would have kept my head covered the entire time. That's how graphic the entire play was that I watched, or movie. It was a movie. It wasn't a play. And it was the words from the play itself, but done in a dramatization, if that makes sense. I'll try to put up a picture of that DVD because I checked this out from the library, and it was a good reenactment of this play, but it was just a little too graphic for me. I didn't need to see all that. But anyway, this is a powerful story, and I can see why it is well loved. And, so many people have done their own versions of this because it was powerful. I will say that there were several places that I stopped and read those lines again. And again, I'm not very good with Shakespeare language, but when you have this, one side has the Shakespeare play and then the other side has the modern version, so you can understand in modern day words, it makes it a lot easier. And I will say this part really, it wraps up the story and what I think Shakespeare was trying to say, or what I think Shakespeare was trying to say, and it's so powerful because it says, life's but a walking, well, let's start here. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I mean, this is just tragic. It is such a tragic story, and it just hurt my heart. It really hurt my heart. Reading this and then watching that dramatization of it really hurt me, because it's the whole story of, you go about and I hope I'm not spoiling this for everybody, but it is a tragedy, so you kind of know where it's going from the beginning. But it's the story of, we can gain the whole world and lose our soul. What does it profit a man, to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? That's what this is really about. You can go and you can do all these things, and you're allowed to do that because of free will, but what do you have in the end to show for that? And it was just insanity and just nothingness in the end. So I just found it to be, no honor, no courage. It was really sad. It was just a super tragic story. I highly recommend it for Shakespeare if you're trying to study Shakespeare, because this is well done. I am glad that I read it. I will study this though. I'm going to go back and reread this one again. Not now, because I don't want to have these feelings for a little while. But I highly recommend studying Shakespeare, because wow, he really was talented with his the way he worded things, and it really is powerful. And after a while, I've noticed since I've read several of these, I'm starting to be able to understand his language even more. So I'm hoping that once I go through several of these with these No Fear Shakespeare, I'll be able to understand them a lot more as I go, because it feels like I'm starting to understand his language, his original way of telling these stories better. I didn't enjoy it, but I found it to be thought-provoking. And so I'll just say that about it. It is a powerful story. A couple of other things I just wanted to mention. I am still reading through The Day It Rained Forever. This is Ray Bradbury. I am buddy reading this with Art and Alice. I'll leave links to their channels below because they have great channels and they are great at discussing wonderful literature. So you want to go over and visit their channels. But we've been making our way through Ray Bradbury. Now Art, I think, has read everything by Ray Bradbury. But Alice and I have read a few things. And so we are just deep diving into Ray Bradbury. And I'm hoping that every year we're going to pick up something else and read it. So we are reading through these short stories and we are having a great discussion. We started later in September, so this will go on into October, which is fine with me because it's a great time to read Ray Bradbury. And then I'm also making my way through The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope. This is the group read for Victober, and because it's like 600-700 pages, I thought I needed to get a head start because I do have several other books that are priorities for me in Victober. In October, I always say Victober for October. During our Victober celebration, and so I wanted to get a head start, and this is so great. There was a couple of days, because of all that was going on this past weekend, I couldn't read this, and I was chomping at the bit to read it. It is that good. I highly recommend The Way We Live Now. Now, of course, I'm not finished yet, but so far it is a page turner, and wow, I am loving Anthony Trollope's writing. So I'm interested to just dive deep into his works, because this is the only the second book that I have read by Anthony Trollope, and it is a great start to my Victober reading. And then I also wanted to mention Autumn Chills by Agatha Christie. This was one I pre-ordered. It is a new release, and it is a collection of some of the short stories by Agatha Christie. I think there are 12, and I am halfway through. I think I have like 4 left. I think I'm more than halfway through. These are fantastic. This is a great collection, and it is the perfect time to read these. So if you want something new to add to your Agatha Christie collection, I highly recommend Autumn Chills, because I am loving these short stories. Sometimes I'll read some of the Agatha Christie short stories, and that's okay. But these have been really great, and I'm loving this collection. So I'm reading this for the 30 books in 30 days. I'm also reading this one for 30 books in 30 days, really, because I decided to read a short story a day for my 30 books in 30 days. And so I decided to pick up some Agatha Christie, and then of course I was reading this anyway, and I'm really enjoying that. I am so glad that I decided to participate in 30 books in 30 days by reading short stories, because there's so many times that I don't read a short story, and I really love short stories. So this month has just been great for me to just pick up a short story every single day and read it. And I just love it. And it's made me want to just keep doing that. I've said in the past, I'm going to always have a short story collection going, and I'll do that for a while, and then I get busy with other books. But I'm really going to try to be intentional on having at least one short story collection on my nightstand from here on out, because I do love just that short story to, I don't know, like these are mysteries, so there's always this little twist. These are Bradbury, so they're thought-provoking, and I don't know, it's just a little snippet of reading that's just enough sometimes for me. So I do enjoy a good short story. So those are the books I have been reading. What have you been reading lately? Let me know in the comments so we can chat there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.